else.
Monday.
Nowhere else I'd rather be than off. Time to run the no-huddle. Jump around the league. Start with Tampa visiting Washington. Bucs coming off the bye, but played like they were still on it. Looked terrible yesterday. Tom Brady picked off twice to the delight of Nick Wright. The NFL's best scoring offense had nothing going against the league's worst pass defense. And Tampa, how about Tampa favored by 10 coming into this one? Washington pulls off the upset. They dropped the Bucs to 6-3 on the season. Second straight loss, by the way, for the Buccaneers. Bruce Arians, big unhappy after the game.
Baffling to me, after the week of practice I watched these guys have, that we could play that poorly. We played with enough passion and energy for about 8 or 9 minutes to win games in this league. And we got to show up on Sundays. We're doing a hell of a job Monday through Friday, but we're not showing up on Sundays. It's all about execution and being a smart football team. We're a very dumb football team, and that's a reflection of the coaches.
What did you see in the 2 interceptions?
We started with the ball, they came away with it, so thank you guys.
One of the best post-game series of sound bites I've heard in a long time. I watched as much of that as I possibly could. Not many answers after that Bucs performance as they continue to fall behind. Look at this. The race for the NFC's best record. 4 teams ahead of them now. Reminder, only 1 bye per conference up for grabs this season. Other reminders include hand washing and checking the weather before you leave the house. Hey, Nick, how concerned should the Bucs be after their second straight loss?
Oh, they should be concerned. They've played 4 teams that would currently be in the playoffs. Washington, obviously not one of them. And they're 2-2. The 2 victories came on field goals in the final moments, and the 2 losses, they were dominated. And that whole mystique of the Bucs after the bye, that bubble got popped instantly. But Broussard, I think this is a good lesson that maybe, and this might be the nicest thing I say about New England all day, don't judge divorces so quickly. We have celebrity divorces, and Belichick and Brady might be the most famous one. Well, here's what I'm saying. Celebrity divorce, if in the first year after the divorce, you know, the wife gets remarried, is posting workout pics on IG, and the husband loses his job and gets arrested, it's like, oh, she won the divorce. But time goes on. And if after that, all of a sudden, you know, the husband gets a new gig, is looking good, and there's rumors. I heard the wife's going to rehab. Things have gone south for her. Then all of a sudden, we're like, oh, maybe we judged it a little too early. And I'm just telling you right now, yeah, it's true. It got dark there quickly, didn't it? But this is how celebrity divorces go. Rehab's always on the table. Broussard, it just is, man. Check the stats. Broussard, I'm just telling you, it looked like, oh, my God, Tom Brady has won the divorce going away. Well, as we sit here today, amazingly, the Bucs and the Patriots have the same amount of victories. They both have 6 wins this year.
Sounds great.
And the Patriots are one of the hottest teams in the league. And meanwhile, the Bucs have lost. They haven't won in a month. They lost. They had a bye. They lost again. So that's, yeah, I think you should be concerned about Tampa. And I think we should reserve a little judgment on the Brady-Belichick divorce.
Another lesson to be learned, Nick. Don't overreact to a week of 2 of bad football. Brady's won the divorce, okay? Period. What he did last year won the divorce at age 43. The best Belichick can do is to make it close. You know, maybe even it out over the years, but Brady's won the divorce, no doubt about that. Nick, weren't we here a year ago? Yeah, we were. November, for some reason, is a bad month for the Buccaneers. Because last November, they lost 3 of 5 games. They lost 3 out of 4 in one stretch. Remember, they were blasted at home by New Orleans. Everybody thinks they're done. And you mentioned it. Have they beaten any good teams? It's funny you didn't mention the names of the teams that they beat, the playoff teams. New England, who you just praised, they beat them. And Dallas, who I think you have as the best team in the league right now. And so they haven't been as bad as you are letting on, all right? I know people are saying, oh, well, the bye week last year, they came back and they didn't lose again. The bye week was later last year. It was week 13 last year. It was a lot earlier this year. They will be fine. I'm not concerned at all about Brady. I know he's had 5 turnovers in the last 2 weeks. But unless you think Father Time Wilds has all of a sudden won the fight against Brady and he'll never be the same, there's no reason to worry about him. The defense is a bit of a concern, no doubt. They gave up that 10-play or 19-play, 10.5-minute drive at the end of the game, which I couldn't believe was the longest drive of the season. So that's concerning, but they do have 3 starters in the defensive backfield, including Richard Sherman, coming back this season. So it is not time to panic at all about Tampa Bay Wilds. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think Richard Sherman's got a lot left on the tag. I actually thought it was kind of cool when he had the headset on coaching. I'm like, you actually might be better over on the sidelines rather than playing. But here's the thing. I'm not worried about Tampa Bay's record. Look, they're not going to go undefeated. Last year, they won the Super Bowl, lost 5 games. These are Super Bowl winners. Chiefs won the Super Bowl, lost 2. That's pretty good, but an outlier. Pats lost 5. The Eagles lost 7. All won the Super Bowl. So look, we can't freak out every time the Bucs lose a game. Secondly, if they do lose a few games, Nick, and they have to go on the road, well, we just saw last year that they can take the road all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. Granted, I do think the Super Bowl was a home game, so that is a little bit of a, poop in the pool, but overall, they can make that work. Secondly, this is not the full contingent of Tampa's offense. No AB, no Gronk. See O.J. Howard jumping off sides, Bruce Arians yelling at him. So, guess what? That's not going to happen if Gronk's out there and his playing time goes down a little bit. So I am not worried about the Bucs at all. But I do like your divorce theory. I thought that was excellent. Jury's still out on the divorce.
Thanks.
I thought that was probably your best take
listen,
of the day.
life goes on. If you get divorced in your mid-40s, maybe you're winning at 46, but who's going to be winning at 56 and 66? Who knows? A couple of notes here. One is, Wilds, while I appreciate you retroactively giving the Chiefs credit for last year's Super Bowl, they actually didn't win the Super Bowl last year. That's when they had 2 losses. The year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they also had 4. No, but they had 4 losses. It's to your point. They were a 12-14 that year. So it's to your point about Tampa. It actually supplements your point about Tampa Bay. But so the one thing that I think is noteworthy for the Bucs that Wilds is looking at as a positive, I might be looking at as a negative. When key contributors, forget Richard Sherman, who also might be done, but our Antonio Brown, our Rob Gronkowski, is them being out of the lineup with injuries at that age going to be something we have to think is more regular than outlier? And if the Bucs offense, grinds to a halt like this against a Washington defense that has been bad all year, lost Chase Young early in this game, then if they have to have all those weapons in order to score points on Washington, I think that is concerning to a degree. Plus, Us Weekly says, I've been seen around the rehab facility. I'm just telling you, it's just something to monitor, John.
Okay.
No.
Just something to monitor.
You did that too long.
By the way, go Badgers. Time now for Eye Openers, and I'm going to kick us off. My eyes will be on Odell Beckham Jr. tonight, making his debut for the L.A. Rams. Monday Night Football. Rams, 49ers. See what OBJ puts together after his Browns tenure. I'll say it never quite took off, but Chris Broussard, the player who opened your eyes in Week 10, was blank.
Jenna, I usually don't go negative on this. I leave that to Nick, but